Welcome back, family, to the Well Balanced Life with Dr. Dana, where we are aligning our faith, our life, and wholeness. I am so excited to get another opportunity to share with you all. And as I promised on last week, we are going to be talking about focusing on the right things. We know this life presents all types of distractions, but we're going to get and dig in deep on what we need to be focusing on. So, grab your tea and let's get into it. All right, so focusing on the right things. If you are like me, we got to take a pause and take a beat and get real with something. We are wasting time, negating purpose, and fooling around, focusing on the wrong things. More importantly, many of us have been focusing on the wrong people. Listen, life is always going to present us with distractions, and sometimes those distractions, more often than not, come in the form of the people around us. It's not just the endless scrolling on social media. It is not just the hours of Netflixing and chilling. It's not just the brand new games that you can download on your phone that vie for our attention and pose distractions. Sometimes it is the people that we choose to focus on that robs us of time, robs us of momentum, robs us of purpose. So I want to get into that today because I have the pleasure of talking to and mentoring and working with people from all types of backgrounds and walks of life. And one of the things that keeps popping up when I talk to people about why they may feel stuck or why they're feeling anxious or why they're feeling frustrated, a lot of times they tell me a story that is tied to someone who has said something that has gotten them off course. We hyper fixate on the wrong thing. I see people all the time who society has canceled and they are out here getting major awards at award shows. I see people out here who people have said are ugly and they are getting brand deals. I have seen people out here who folks have said are talentless and they are getting major record deals signed. They are booked and busy. They are on flyers, planes, trains, and automobiles and doing things. What is the point I'm trying to make? One person's opinion or several people's opinion carries far less weight than what we think. And the only reason why it carries any weight at all is if you give it the power and the permission to. Let that sink in for a moment. Opinions only carry the weight that we give them. Opinions only carry the weight that you give them. And so, what we do is we get one little negative thing that's posted on as a comment to something that we posted, or we overhear that somebody has said something, a little sly, a little fly about us, and now our minds start going. And that's the thing we focus on. There are plenty of people who love you, who support you, who are clapping for you, who are rooting you on, who are watching you, who are praying for you. Far more people are for you than those who are against you. Take it a step further. The word of God says, if God be for you, he's more than the whole world against you. So I want to encourage you in this season to shift your focus. There's always going to be somebody who has an opinion about who you are and what you're doing. Always, always. And my husband has a saying, he says, the cheap seats are the loudest seats. It's always the people who have no skin in the game, who have nothing to lose, that always have the most to say about what you're doing. It's just that's the way life is. That's the way it goes. Someone is always going to have something to say, especially when you're doing something purposeful or impactful, because they are designed to derail your focus, slow down your momentum, get you all discombobulated so that you can't continue to move forward and have an impact. It's all in the plan of the enemy, it's how it works. But our job is to stay rooted and grounded in who we know we are and then give weight to the opinion of people who are supporting our purpose. You can't please everybody. And a lot of times, depending on the day, you can't please anybody. But that's okay. It doesn't mean you're not doing this thing right. It doesn't mean you're not in purpose. It doesn't mean you're not doing it well. So I want to help us start conditioning our minds to focus on the things that serve us. If you're waiting to have a room full of applause, if you are waiting to have people sending you fan mail, if you are waiting for every comment on your post to be positive and every little person to go through and like, you are going to be stunted in what it is you are supposed to be doing because that's just not how it's set up. I think sometimes our purpose needs a little friction in order to actually come to fruition. I think we need a few people on the sidelines booing us. I think we need a few people saying what we can't do. And what it should do is not deter you, it should light a fire under you to say, really? Watch and see. Really? Watch and see. That is the attitude we should take. And it's not so much from a place of needing to prove people wrong or a place of validation, but we have to be so secure in who we are, who we're called to be, to understand that people are allowed to have their opinions. That's fine. But what did God say you are called to do? Who did He say you are? And who do you know at your core that you are? I had a situation where somebody didn't like some feedback that I gave them. Remember, I told y'all in the last episode, people say I'm bossy. Well, in addition to being bossy, if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an honest answer. And I have learned through just wisdom and living on this earth to season what I have to say with love, right? So I've learned to give the truth in love. But sometimes people don't want the truth, they want validation. And in hindsight, I think this person just wanted me to validate some foolishness. And because I couldn't, they were offended. Well, they left and started kind of what I would call a smear campaign against me. Can you believe it? Right? That's almost as preposterous as people saying I'm bossy. But they started this smear campaign. And for a minute, um, it had my focus. I'm just gonna be honest, it had my focus because I'm like, man, I love people real big. I've committed my life to pouring into people. I handled this situation with as much grace and tact as I possibly could. I just don't get how they could say this and now they're telling other people and what if these people think that and I just got consumed to the point where it had gotten to my heart where I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. I don't know that I'm going to. This just doesn't seem right. I don't know that I like the way this feels. Maybe if I just disconnect and don't pour and give of myself in this way, then I won't be setting myself up for this type of foolishness. Focus all off because in that same week I got inboxes from people saying, oh my gosh, what you said at such and such, it blessed me. Oh my gosh, thank you for taking my phone call. You said exactly what I needed to hear. Oh my, all of these affirmations kept coming in that what I was doing was making a difference, but I was focusing on one individual and their opinion of something that no matter how I said it, I think they were going to take it that way. And so what it taught me was I don't get to sit down on my purpose because somebody has a negative opinion of me. I do, however, get to decide what thoughts, what opinions, what things I'm going to focus on and what I choose to give weight to. So now what I do is I make sure not that I negate feedback because feedback is important, but I also understand how to eat the meat and spit out the bones. I also understand that some people are just sent into your life to be that friction. And you got to just say, okay, all right. It's like when you go out, if you've ever been out and had a picnic and it's lovely and you have this beautiful spread and you've got your blanket out and you've got your basket and you've got your charcuterie stuff and you've got your fruit dipped in chocolate and all of the things, right? And it's just this wonderful setup. And then here come the flies. It's kind of like that. It doesn't mean that you don't have a beautiful moment set up before you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to enjoy the fresh air and the birds and the companion if you have somebody with you. But it does mean every now and then You got to swat a little fly while you're eating a chocolate covered strawberry. You got to swat a little fly while you're enjoying the breeze, right? That's what these negative naysayers are like. And we have to get used to not allowing the flies in our life to keep us from enjoying what's beautiful. Shift your focus. The Bible is replete with scripture that talks about what we are supposed to be thinking on, what's lovely, what's pure, what's good, what's true, what's of a good report. The Bible tells us that we're even renewed by the transforming of our minds. We have got to put our minds on the things that speak the truth of who God says we are, what He has for us in this life, and allow everything else around us that doesn't align with that to be a lie. I refuse at this big grown age, I refuse at this point in my life to be deterred by a lie. And many of us have shifted our focus to people who are not telling us the truth, to situations that are not speaking the truth of who we are. And it has cost us years. It's cost us days. It's cost us opportunities. I want to challenge you, if you're listening to me right now, to ask, pray and ask the Lord, Lord, show me what I have been focusing on that is not true. Show me what I have been focusing on that is not of you, and help me shift my focus onto the things that serve me, that serve the mission and the path that you've set me on. Lord, teach me how to swat the flies in the natural and in the spirit. Help me to not give weight to things that are small things that are of no account, and help me to turn my ears off to people who do the enemy's work by speaking against who I am. Pray that prayer and ask the Lord to show you. And every time you find yourself focusing on, becoming anxious over something that somebody has said or something that you can't even control, remember to shift that focus. Shift that focus. I think from this day forward, I'm just gonna be walking right. If you see me somewhere in the street and you see me doing, I'm just swatting flies. Something tried to enter my mind that was some foolishness, and I'm just swatting it out the way so that I can enjoy the beauty of what life has before me. If this has been a blessing to you in any way, my prayer is that you would share it with somebody else, that you would drop me a note in the comments and let me know. I enjoy every time I have an opportunity to share with you all. And like I say every single week, regardless to how your day has been, regardless to how your life has been up to this point, the fact that you are breathing means there's hope. And remember, the day goes on. It has been my pleasure spending time with you all. I hope that you enjoyed your tea and what we talked about. Remember, focus on the right things and join me right back here on next week.